So we run something called SSR, Skills Support for the Redundant.
Okay.
So that's supporting people who are either at risk of redundancy or have been made redundant and have been made redundant within 3 months. So if they're of the age of 16 and over and they've got the right to recourse to work in the UK, we will go into an employer or meet with those individuals and support them, upskill them when necessary, look at their transferable skills, look at their aspirations, marry them up, put the right package together, and they'll then help them find sustainable employment.
Okay.
So what we offer through our different programs is very bespoke. So it's not one size fits all. It's what fits each individual, what fits each business.
Okay. So you mentioned SSR. There's something called the SSU.
Yeah. So SSR is for the redundant, and SSU is skill support for the unemployed.
Okay.
So anybody who's unemployed it's a very, very similar sort of provision where we will identify the support they need through holistic support. So it could be something along the lines they need they need support with their CV, cover letter, mock interviews, confidence building.
That can be quite a challenge, building a CV, particularly somebody who's had a job for the last 10-15 years, comfortable in their career, and suddenly they've been made redundant.
Yeah, maybe they haven't done an interview for years and have not needed to re-look at their CV.
I was asked to write a CV about 6 months ago, and I thought, oh my God, how do I do that? So that can be pretty challenging.
Yeah.
So you offer support there where individuals have been working for a long time and they haven't got a CV.
And suddenly they've got to do an interview. You know, you're suddenly faced with those, what kind of questions are they going to ask me? We can do mock interviews, we can do some sort of best practice kind of ideas, getting them to really sort of think about what's somebody going to ask you, what are you trying to show off, what are your transferable skills?
Right.
Because suddenly people are going, oh, I can't do this, I haven't got those skills. And actually you just need to think about, well, okay, how could you fulfil that role? What skills have you got? And then how can we give examples and help them work with things that they've done so they can really showcase their skills? Because people we're all very easy, well, I can't do that, Nobody ever wants to shout about their achievements, do they? And it is encouraging people to see themselves in a different light, to think about what they can do and believe in themselves, because, that sort of strength and that resilience, suddenly when you're made redundant, especially if it's unexpected or, you've not been in that position before, it can really knock your confidence.
Yeah.
And you suddenly, feel like you're floundering in a world where you don't perhaps know where to look.
Yeah.
You don't know where to look for vacancies. You're not sure the best way to write a cover letter, fill in your skills and showcase.
And that is make or break in many cases. The cover letter is possibly sometimes more important than the CV. And these are really important skills that people will be needing. And so in the same context, what's the SSW?
SSW is
because
skills.
There's too many
letters. Yes.
So that's skills support for the workforce. So this is where we will speak to different employers, identify their gaps, strengths, weaknesses, and look at where we can support them. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got an employer in Worcester. They want to grow as an organisation. They're a small organisation, and to financially go out and recruit new management, team leaders, it's a huge expense. And in this climate, people can't afford that.
Expense and time consuming.
Very, very, very much. So this is where, as an SSW providers, we will go in and identify those gaps and say, well, if you've got somebody working for your organisation and they can be upskilled to take on a team leader role, a management role, we can offer that. We can offer that qualification. We do accredited qualifications, which are recognised. The other thing me and Hester were actually talking about earlier, we've been in a world where experience has gone a long way. We've come into a world now, you can apply for a job and they'll say, have you got an ILM? Have you got Prince 2? Do you understand the techniques of project management, contract management? Do you have the best business techniques? So this is where we're putting the meat on the bones. We're helping you get that qualification. You've got the skills already, the knowledge already, or you've got the transferable skills, but you've got a qualification that lasts for life.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power.
Personal qualification as well.
They're personal qualifications, they're formal accredited qualifications, they're recognised qualifications that different employers are aware of, and they go with that employee. They're not linked to your employer, they're your qualifications. Yes. But it means that somebody externally has a set